What's up, guys, and welcome to today's video. If it looks at all like I haven't slept in a couple of days, that's because, quite frankly, I haven't, due to what I'm about to show you guys today. So you guys know we've done some RP stuff in Grand Theft Auto on the channel in the past, and those have all been on public servers. So this, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Toogii RP. This is one of two servers that I've been working on. This one more so focusing on the RP aspect. The other one more so focusing on the PD or the police department aspect. So I'm going to be making two videos, one on this one and then one on Toogii PD. And hopefully I can sort of explain the main differences between the two. But today we're checking out Toogii RP. And we're going to start things off in the job center. So once the player actually spawns in, normally people only spawn with 5,000 bucks, but we actually started with 10,000. You can collect unemployment. So unemployment pays out, I don't remember, I set a random interval for it, but it'll pay out 200 bucks every so often while you're unemployed. So what we're going to do is actually go through this list and pick what we want our job to be. For example, I think I'm just going to go with fueler. We're not actually going to look at the fueler job. I'll show you why that's going to come in handy later. But now, of course, we're just starting out in the world. Picture this as just being birthed, except you're a full body man. Also, I do think it's kind of important that I maybe just get rid of my face cam at certain parts, so don't worry if I disappear for a moment. Since we were basically just born, we now have a job that we haven't actually gone to yet. We don't have a driver's license. We don't have any sort of license, any real identification. So what we're going to do is head down here to the DMV. We could run there, but it's still Grand Theft Auto, so I think we're just going to steal some whip. Let's take this little Ponto over here, this smart car. All right, DMV is just up here on the right. You can see we have a little waypoint up there on the top of the staircase, so I'm going to pull in. We'll just park over here. Doesn't really make much difference where we park at, but we're going to run up here to the top of the stairs.
Man, I've been getting a gang of bitches lately.
I love all the pedestrians' conversations. Then if we hit E, once we're in this little waypoint here, you'll see, I guess you won't see because I'm in the way. See, this is where I need to just get rid of myself. So now you'll see in the bottom right, we have a theoretical driving test for $250. And it's gonna say you do not have enough money. Of course. I actually forgot about this. I could just give myself some money, but this will actually showcase another aspect of the server that's pretty sick. So we're just gonna hop back in our stolen Ponto, and we're gonna go over here, jump a staircase really quick, just because we can. Being in a smart car, there we go. You'll see on the minimap we actually have a few waypoints over here, one of which being a $sign. So we can come up to these ATMs and actually withdraw however much money we want to do. I'm actually just going to take all of our money. So you'll see up in the top right now it changed to 10,200 cash. And we can go ahead and exit out of that. Let's head back on over to the DMV. I really do wish there were some way for me to like share the code with you guys. I think at the very least I'll be able to link like the base framework that I'm using, but I can't actually release any of the scripts because they're not fully mine. They're basically just edited scripts that somebody else created. So I don't want to be that guy and release stuff that's not mine. But now you'll notice we have 250. If we hit enter here, that's going to bring us to this handy dandy screen. Now the only thing we actually have to pay attention to is this sentence right here. It's like Mom always said, the answer is C almost all of the time. So now we're going to start our driving test, and taking Mama's advice, we're going to go through this thing and answer C for everything except for one of them. Even if you just go through this thing and select C for all of them, you'll still pass because you would have only missed 1 point. And then we're still not to that. There it is. This is the only one that requires D because it's all of the above, and then everything else is still C. Good work. You did well during the examination. You can now close this window and go take your road test. So now if we close that, let's walk out of the circle and walk back in the circle. There we go. So now we have driving test for 2,500 bucks, motorcycle skill test for 3 grand, and truck skill test for 5. All I'm worried about right now is the driving test. So we're going to go ahead and do that for 2,500 bucks, and it is immediately going to subtract that amount from our cash. Now we can do this. Now we can start. So speed limit is actually 30 miles per hour. It does register residential zones, it registers in-town zones, it also registers the highway zones. So if you are speeding, the game will let you know, and you will actually fail the test. I'm not going to bore you guys with this too much, I don't think, because it's pretty straightforward. Every intersection you come to, it'll kind of stop and give you an instruction on what you're supposed to do, as if there were an actual driving instructor in your car. Except for this intersection. This one I blow every single time. And also this one. But nonetheless, as soon as we... Oh, there it is, actually. You're driving too fast, over 50 miles per hour. So we gotta keep our speed in check for sure. And then this one, it'll actually make us stop. There we go. But yeah, I will see you guys when we're finished with this, because it is rather boring the rest of the way. Here we are, just now pulling back in. So there's going to be a new waypoint right here. We're just going to leave the car right at it, and boom, we have passed the test. So now that we've passed our test, we not only have our permit after passing the written exam, but now, having passed the actual physical driving portion, we have our own license. There isn't any way for me to show you guys like a physical license, but the game does now register the fact that we own a license. So the reason that's important is for what we're gonna go do next, which is actually go purchase a car. The game won't let you buy a car unless you are a licensed driver. But of course we still don't own a car. Oh, convenient, there's another little Ponto over here. Let's go take this.
Fuck, son of a bitch.
Okay, that was definitely a gang member, and we... Yep, and we definitely did that in a gang zone. Oh god, I've got... Okay, this was not supposed to happen. I actually don't have any weapons or anything of the sort. Okay, we outran them. As soon as we left their neighborhood, they were like, alright, it's fine. Dude, what's with these little Pontos everywhere? I swear I never see these cars driving around otherwise. But now that we're at the dealership, you'll notice we have another little blip, a little waypoint in here. If you hear some shooting, it's because of the gun range next door. But if we stand in this, you'll see we have a list of every vehicle in Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto Online. I thought, originally, when I opened up this menu, I was like, oh, we have just a select list of these cars. You can actually scroll through them. Each option in the list here is just simply the category, so you actually have to cycle through each model. And I already know there is a super cheap sedan, or at least I think it was a sedan, the Regina. That's 5,000 bucks. That's fairly inexpensive. I don't know, there's got to be one that's actually cheaper. I remember, yeah, here we go, the Warrener for 4,000. So let's go ahead and purchase this vehicle. We're just gonna click enter. It's gonna ask us in the top left, do you want to purchase this? And we're gonna select yes. 4,000 bucks. Now our cash reflects that purchase, and then it says you now have a plate basically belonging to you, PDP 709, and if we check the back, there it is, PDP 709. So that registers in the database as well and gets saved to my character. If I didn't want this car anymore for whatever reason, there's another little blip back here. We can sell it, but it only sells for half the original amount. So you kind of got to keep that in mind. But nonetheless, we now have our own vehicle, which is very, very sick. So what do we want to do now that we have a car, now that we can drive around on the streets? Do what any GTA character would do and go deal and sell and process and create drugs, obviously. That default framework that I was talking about as well does already add the ability to harvest and process marijuana and then sell it to a drug dealer. I've gone through and adjusted the code some more and added 2 additional drug spots. So we have heroin and then cocaine as well. We have a cocaine field right here that we can go pick from, and then on this one, that would be the coke processing location, and so on and so forth. I just recently did the heroin edition, so I think that's the one I'm going to showcase for you guys today. So first and first, mostly, we got to go up here to the poppy field and pick some poppies. Well, we've made it up to Route 68, and I've just realized that I completely forgot to fill my my new purchased vehicle with fuel. So we're just gonna hop out at this handy dandy gas station. We're going to come over here to this pump, and then if we click E to refuel the vehicle, it'll do this kind of dumb animation. He's not exactly right up against the car, but you guys get the point. And now the pump itself is going to count up how much money we're going to have to spend, and then you can kind of see on the vehicle itself, it shows the percentage that the tank is filling. And then after we fill it completely all the way full, it'll give us a little notification, tank is full, and then if we hop back in the vehicle, now in the bottom left it shows 100 fuel in our tank. Another thing I want to cover just really quick, since we're near a mechanic, I'm pretty sure this shop also functions as a mechanic. I'm going to just bang up my vehicle a little bit and show you guys the realistic vehicle damage that we have. So if we just kind of smash up the front end of the car, now you'll see next to our license plate by our mini-map, the engine is yellow, and it's popping, it's backfiring pretty bad, and now it's red. So it's completely dead now. All we have to do is do /repair, and that's going to say you remove some rust from the spark tube, now get to a mechanic. So now let's get closer to a mechanic shop, which I'm assuming there's one here. I don't actually know that for sure. And then let's just do /repair again, and that's going to say the mechanic repaired your car. Now our engine is green again, meaning our car's health is essentially 100%, if that makes sense. This is also kind of difficult for me to explain because from the code side of things, like, it's very, very complex, and just trying to forget about the code and just talk about what actually happens is a little challenging. I wish I could just show you guys all the script too. It's kind of convenient actually, coming from like years and years and years ago. I learned how to code Lua for Roblox, and funny enough, most if not all the code that I've seen so far experimenting with these modifications and server scripts, it's almost always Lua, which is just, it's real handy. It really is. I would not be able to do half the stuff if I didn't have that prior knowledge from Roblox. So never would have thought that would have come in handy for anything other than that, but thankfully it has. So we're gonna leave our vehicle up here. You guys can see on the mini-map we have the poppy field just over here on this island. So we're gonna swim across this tiny little canal and start picking some poppies, dude. All right, now that we're up here, it is kind of dark. I can't even really see where the poppies are. I think this is one here. So they're a pink colored flower that are kind of just scattered in this mini-map zone for this radius here. So they spawn totally randomly just on a particular map height. There's another one right over here. I'm only going to collect enough for us to actually do something with. I think we need like 15 is what I have it set to. So that's +5. There we go. We have 15 poppies on us. That is perfect. So let's head back to our vehicle, and then we're going to go to the poppy processing plant, which is conveniently just down the street. Another thing that I haven't quite tested yet. Okay, is this dude going to give me any trouble? Nah, we're cool. He's just checking out the whip. It's pretty sick. Oh, and he's got a dog. Okay, please don't hurt me. As I was saying, something I haven't tested yet is actually the cars spawning. So I'm hoping that me fast traveling through to this door here isn't going to despawn my car, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I probably should have saved it in a garage as well. But now up at the top left, it says press E to enter heroin. Why did I say that so dumb? Heroin processing plant. And once inside, it actually teleports us to a completely different area. You guys may recognize this from the gun running DLC. We're just going to come over to this table that doesn't actually have any decorations on it just yet. But now we can start processing the poppy. So it'll say processing poppy into heroin. And then in the bottom right, there we go, -15 poppy, +1 heroin. So now in our inventory, it will reflect that +1 heroin, or I guess ×1. Now that we got the goods, we can exit the premises. And another, small tweaking that I have to do to exit, it also says to enter. So I just have to add an addition to the script to make it so these waypoints actually have differing things. But is the car still here? Oh, it sure is, baby. All right, so that's a perk of owning a vehicle. Otherwise, it would most definitely despawn. So there has to be something set up somewhere for purchased vehicles to not despawn, which is awesome. So now that we have this, I guess I should probably look at the mini-map, huh? Now that we have our goods, we have the drop spot over here, which is actually an addition to the original drug dealer, which is in Vespucci. This drop spot up here just does the same thing as the drug dealer. He just doesn't need to be present for us to make the sale. So we're gonna go ahead and head on that way, just down the road from us. Here we go, just through this gate, down the street here. It's gonna be our drug dealer drop-off location. This spot doesn't actually have the decorative table that the other one has. There's another drop spot that I have set up in town, in Grove, actually. This one does have a physical table with, you know, drug supplies and stuff, but behind this door, there's nothing, not yet. I have to go through and make separate Y maps for all this stuff, but here we go. It'll say press E to drop off product to the drug dealer. So if we hit E, there we go. We have 1 heroin. If we had more, we could cycle through this and sell more than one at a time, but let's go ahead and do it for 175 bucks. And now our dirty money, or the red money sign in the top right, shows 175. So to make that clean money, we gotta head to another location. I know, but believe me, this is the best way to do it, especially just having other players jump around from location to location. It's gonna make you as a police officer it's going to give you a little bit better opportunity for actually catching someone doing some of these illegal activities. The newest money wash that I have set up out here in Sandy is this location here at a motel. So we're going to head that way, and hopefully we can get this money cleaned. There are slightly differing options per each money location, and actually I think we're gonna go to a different one since we have the fueler job. I kind of forgot about that. Since we are a fueler, we want to go to the fueler money wash because we have a little bit better odds at this location. So we're gonna head over to this one. This one will give us 75% of our dirty money back. The other one, the original one we were going to, will only give us, I think it's 50. So not that much at all. Here we are, just now pulling up. I'm gonna park on the sidewalk because, you know, you can do that type of stuff. And then just behind this blue door back here, you'll notice a red circle. So it's important that when we go through this, we are employed by the fueler. If I change my job to unemployed and we go through this, we won't actually see anything. So let's go through. Fueler's money wash, there we go. So over here is where the location would usually be, but you'll notice there's no waypoint underneath of us, just the entrance and the exit waypoint. So if we go back in here and set our job back to fueler, like so, boom, waypoint appears. If we approach it, it'll say wash your money. So we click wash money, and then we can enter the specific amount we'd like to wash. I'm gonna do 175. Then it's gonna give us a 30-second timer. So since this one does actually give you quite a bit more back than the other locations, it does take a little bit longer. You can actually leave the spot, that doesn't matter too much, but eventually that money will be deposited in our account. I'm also just now noticing that our stats, the little yellow and blue bar above our minimap, are very, very low. So we're gonna have to go buy some bread and some water really quick. That's another good representation of some of the other scripts that are active. Here we go, 131 clean money, and that takes our dirty money, makes it clean, puts it in our pocket, in our cash. We can exit this place, and then let's head just down the street. Hopefully my car's still here. Hey, it is. Nice, dude. This is kind of good too, because I just get to do even more testing than I would have done otherwise. Let's head right on down the street, park up on the sidewalk again, just because we can. Even in a red zone, like, doesn't even matter, man. Doesn't even matter. So we're gonna come in here to this 24/7. Hey, man, what's going on? And then if we access the store, you'll notice we can buy bread for $100 a piece. I know it seems crazy. Just keep in mind, if you collect unemployment, it gives you like $200 every, I don't even remember what that interval's set up for. We'll say every 15 minutes you'd get $200. So prices really kind of even out after a while, but it is kind of weird that you can buy heroin for $75 more than what you can buy bread for. Just something to think about. So we're gonna go through and buy, let's do 4 bread for $400 and 4 waters for $400. Now, we don't have to exit the store to do this. I'm just doing this for a scenery change, but we can open up our inventory, click on our bread here, use bread, and you'll notice our yellow status bar is going up. Oh, it also does a burger animation. But every time we eat a piece of bread, our status bar, the yellow one, will actually increase. So we're going to eat all of our bread, and we'll do the same thing for the water. Use, use, use. And there we go. Our stats are now fully replenished, and our inventory is back to being empty. And you guys, I think that's probably where we're going to wind down this little showcase video at for today. If you guys want to see more behind-the-scenes stuff on you know, behind-the-scenes type projects like this one, definitely let me know down in the comments. Nonetheless, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.